Hello, 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 everyone. How are you? Hope you're having an incredible, incredible day, and may peace be upon you. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the show. It Takes Courage. With me, your host, Dr. Izdihar Jamil. And today I have a very special guest, Tanish Shenoy, who's an author, teen entrepreneur, and also TEDx speaker, and he's only 16 years old. So, Tanish, welcome, welcome, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me here. It's great to be here today. And firstly, I'm honored to be a part of this show with you.
Thank you so much, Tanish. And Tanish just had, just came back from school. You've also just wrapped up the last few of your exams, right?
So yeah.
Awesome. And also today, the 5th of May, is the launch of your book, your first book, let me just bring it up really quickly. Here we are, the TeenCoon Entrepreneur, that's available on Amazon. So first of all, congratulations, Tanish.
Thank you.
How does it feel, because, it's a lot of work, to be like putting all these things together. And what is your biggest inspiration for you to write this book? Because I know not many teenagers are even thinking about writing books, let alone have it published and, putting it out there. So what's your biggest inspiration from your book?
For the inspiration part, always been fascinated by the idea of creating something new and making a positive impact in the world. Technology and innovation both have always been my passions. I remember as far as when I was 9 years old on my 9th birthday, Google had their coding camp at their Mountain View garage on my birthday. And around that same time, my parents were asking me, saying, Tanish, what would you like to do for your birthday party? Would you like to have a party, go to Chuck E. Cheese, all that sort of stuff? But instead, I had decided to set my mind and attend the camp that weekend. And well, that was just a starting, as every summer I attended multiple technology-related camps and learned a lot about apps and digital marketing. Of course, life did change during pandemic, as no commute was possible, and most of the work, even my school, was online. Although it did suck and all, but on the bright side, we did have more time on our hands. At a time, I was only 14, and I saw a lot of digital gap in the world. And I started brainstorming ideas for businesses, and eventually founded my own startup, moregifts.com. After I launched my startup, I faced a ton of challenges. Of course, I knew I was entering some uncharted territory, which by all means were good learning lessons. And I decided to keep on moving on, and eventually I was able to launch my e-commerce gifting platform, More Gifts. The launch of the company was delayed for multiple reasons though, but at the end of the day, I still managed to do it. My journey was at the same time exciting, but at the same time also challenging, and my friend circle and people in my school became quite curious and wanted to know how I pulled all of this off. So that was when I really started to share my experiences, and I also started sharing the same in my school club called Startuppreneur. By then, I was interviewed by multiple and local global publications, and more people started asking me how I managed to pull this off. That was when I really realized it would be good to share my knowledge with the world, and even decided to put all my experience and journey in one book and called it The TeenCoon Entrepreneur, which is now available on Amazon.
Awesome. So that's so interesting because the journey from 9 years old, you've had this interest, right, with technology.
Yeah.
And which is pretty interesting because a lot of the kids are not, 9 years old. You just want to play, probably want to video games and things like that, which is really, really inspiring. And that kind of like, I'm assuming because the book on technology and your inspiration in technology, it kind of like your TEDx talks is also talking about technology and something similar. So I just wanted to touch base a little bit about your TEDx talk. So Tanish gave a TEDx talk. I think Tanish, it was last year.
Correct.
Yeah,
It was
correct,
last
right?
year.
Last year. So last year at TEDx Apex. So Tanish, just touch base a little bit about your TEDx talk and what is it about and what is the unique idea that you were sharing on the TEDx platform.
The unique idea I was sharing was that a social entrepreneurship, like as a teenager, and the other part is that, like, the biggest part was, I'd say, probably like preparing for it and all, and like doing a lot of preparations was like a huge thing. Like I can remember, like, I prepared for it so many times, read the script so much to the point that even my throat got sore.
And people think like TEDx start is one of those things. Oh, you just wake up and just talk whatever you feel like talking on that day, which is the biggest myth ever in what people are thinking. Is very structured. Tanish had a very specific idea on teen entrepreneurship and the startups and all around those areas, very, very specific and unique. And it's
Hmm.
structured in a way to give the most impactful delivery in the shortest amount of time.
Yeah.
Tanish, dare I say that your TEDx talk kind of like one of the lily pads or one of the jumpstart or the a tool that you use as part of your book to jumpstart the process of your book, or like part of the ingredients for it.
Yeah, I could say it kind of was like almost like an ingredient or part of my book. Yeah.
Wonderful, awesome. So let's start, a little bit kind of like get back to the top. So Tanish, give us a quick preview, a quick introduction about you, yourself, what you're passionate about, what you are doing. I know you gave a little bit about you sharing about entrepreneurship at school. So give us a little bit introduction about yourself.
Yeah. So I'm like a TEDx speaker. I'm a author right now, and I'm also a teen entrepreneur. I'm really passionate about startups and technology, like how I mentioned, and that's why I'd even started moregifts.com, my e-commerce gifting platform. And yeah, that's like what I'm really passionate about, I could say.
Awesome. I mean, that's a lot of things you're passionate about. I'm glad because, like you said, in the pandemic, it was like we all couldn't go anywhere, but it also at the same time gave you some free time to kind of explore things as well with entrepreneurship, and that led to the birth of your first startup. So, I'm so proud of you. So, congratulations for that. And leading to that, what was your biggest motivation in pursuing entrepreneurship? Was it
Hmm.
was it because your parents? Was it because you saw something someone did in the community? Was it because from a movie? So, what was your biggest motivation?
If we're talking about motivation, my biggest motivation, I should say, it's my undying desire to create something that would make a difference in people's lives. And I know I just have started in all my journey and attended a lot of startup programs. These included the ones that are offered by Y Combinator in Stanford. And I know I still got a lot to learn about it. And this summer, I am attending a few more entrepreneurship programs. One of them is Launchix program at UMich, and also attending Green Entrepreneurship program offered in Oxford University of London. My goal here is to be a social entrepreneur and make a huge impact in our communities. One huge thing I learned is that with hard work, dedication, and a willingness to take risks, anything, like literally anything, it's possible.
That is interesting. So you've basically got a plan for your summer. So you're going to take a trip to London, to Oxford in England. Or
Yeah.
what? Awesome. I used to live in England some time ago, just a few years back, and we visited Oxford quite often.
Oh, wow.
Because when I was pursuing my wanted to start my PhD, Oxford was one of the places that I looked at, and I was offered a place to my PhD there. But because my husband was in Bristol and then Oxford, so it was like a huge commute. So I'm like, okay, maybe next time Oxford. I'm gonna stay closer to home. But Oxford is an incredible place to be. It's a lot of knowledge, wealth of knowledge, but it's also the architecture is beautiful. And when you're there, you can just feel like the energetically around it. I think you're gonna have a great time there, Tanish. And I hope you'll keep us updated via your social media with your journey at Oxford, what you've discovered there and
Hmm.
learned there.
Hmm.
Awesome. Okay, Tanish, let's touch base now about because your audience are mostly teens, right? So
Yeah.
they are looking up at you because you're already a step above them, one step before after them. So what would be your tips that you can share for other teens that are listening, or as well as for young adults when they're wanting to start their entrepreneurship journey?
Oh, I would absolutely love to share so many tips. And I'm sure you and we all know this iconic phrase called practice makes perfect, right? So, whatever we do or practice, we become better. And the more we practice it, the more we become an expert at that, correct? So, as teens, we typically go through a lot. And I've seen many teens doubt themselves and their capabilities. This often leads to negative self talk like, I'm not good enough, I suck, I cannot get an A, and much more. And with these daily practices, they become perfect at it and it becomes part of their mindset. So, with this book that I'm launching, I created a guide for teens on how to overcome those challenges and have a successful entrepreneurial mindset. On top of that, being a teen, the biggest key lesson from my book is that age, it's just a number, especially when it comes to pursuing your dreams and starting a business. You don't have to just wait until you're an adult or out of college to turn your ideas into a reality. My story is a testament to this fact. As a teenager, however, though, I did face many challenges and obstacles while starting my business, more gifts. Some of the minor ones were including like opening a bank account, company account, and creating a legal entity in my name. But some of the bigger ones were like people not taking me seriously and being like, oh, you're just a kid. How can you do all this? However, though, I just did not let that discourage me. And instead, I learned to embrace failure and turn it into an opportunity to both grow and learn. And for simplicity's sake, I can say three main tips in entrepreneurial mindsets, which I've shared in the book, are prioritize like I do. And I've also shared a template in this book, which can be used to create the daily to do list or a priority list, as I call it. Then, through my experiences, I realized that the most important thing is when it comes to entrepreneurship is perseverance and willingness, like willingness to take risks. And lastly, every entrepreneur, and including you, may face setbacks, but the important thing is to stay committed to your goals and at all times never give up. One thing I hope is that my book will inspire and motivate other young people to follow their passions and pursue their dreams, no matter how old they are, their circumstances, or where they come from.
Awesome, Tanish. And one thing you mentioned that age is just a numbers. It doesn't matter how young you are or how old you think you are. It's just a number that you have in mind. And things like what Tanish was saying, the biggest thing is believing in yourself and pursuing it relentlessly and figuring things out as you go along. So the book, Tanish's book, The TeenCoon Entrepreneur, is available on Amazon. You want to go and grab it as soon as you can. So today is the launch day. So with the launch day, we have it launched at a very special price at 99 cents. If you're gonna go and grab it today, the Kindle version of it. There's so much, it's very practical, it's very simple. And the way that Tanish has written it is clean and straight to the point. So it's mostly a practical stuff, right, Tanish, in the book
Yes.
that people can just go straight to without having to figure things out, how to do things. So it's given them a step-by-step plan.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, Tanish. So you're still in school and you're a junior in school.
Hmm.
You've got one more left of high school, but you've also started your entrepreneurship and your startup. and overcome so many challenges, including people not taking you seriously or opening a bank account and having all those paperwork being ready or submitted. So, what would be some of your ideas that you can share with the viewers on how they can balance between their school work, because a school work, high school level, if you're taking an AP, is pretty demanding, and also have a business.
Well, that is something you should probably ask my parents. Although I am an American, but my parents are from Indian origin, who are highly educated and they're always pushing me. I do not mean the pushing in a normal way, though, just saying. It's much more than that when it comes, especially from Indian origin parents. So I would say, like, what? Balancing schoolwork, business management, and even their expectations sometimes have been kind of challenging. But don't get me wrong, though. I am indeed thankful for my parents for always being there with me. Now, coming back to the part about balancing school and business, I can understand it surely would get super hectic with business deadlines, and honestly, schoolwork does get impacted. And that is when it becomes important to prioritize time and stay more organized. I learned a lot and set specific goals for my business and schoolwork and created a schedule that allowed me to work on both. But honestly, if I'm saying this myself, passion always won for me. And at some time, we just have to pick our battles and be ready for the consequences, which you shouldn't be regretting. And another tip is to delegate tasks and responsibilities to trusted team members or collaborators. This way, you can focus on your studies while still moving forward with your business goals. I learned this and even outsourced some of my tasks that are repeatable, but still remember, your business is like your baby. You still have to take care of it. Ultimately, though, finding the right balance between schoolwork and business does require discipline, dedication, and a strong work ethic. I understand how it may not be easy and all at first, but with proper planning and execution, I can say it's definitely achievable.
Awesome. So delegation, right, Tanish, is one of
Correct.
the biggest key
Yeah.
factor, especially those repeatable things that are minuscule, but can be systemized or templated in a way
Yeah.
to outsource it. So wonderful. So Tanish, let's just wrap the interview up because it's given us a lot in terms of the tips on how to manage the school and business work. The same with me. I have my work, my business, and I have the kids. If you if you can't hear them already in this
Yeah.
interview, so on delegation, on being relentless about your dreams, and also about prioritizing on what's important things to do because that's going to be multiple things to do um, all the time.
Yeah.
So before that, before we wrap up the interview, I wanted to kind of share some good news with everybody. That here we are. I just wanted to say congratulations to Tanish and his mom, Madhu, and his dad, and to the whole family, and to everybody that's supporting Tanish and his cause. The book, Tanish's book, The TeenCoon Entrepreneurship, hit number one, officially hit number one on the Amazon bestseller list in the USA. So congratulations, Tanish, and congratulations to your entire family for a huge success.
Thank you.
How does it feel, Tanish, to
Well,
see it like in like print like that, number one out of the thousands of books on Amazon, number one today?
I can't really. I sometimes just can't believe it's actually happened. And I'm just like totally shocked. I'm like, man, this actually pulled off really well.
Yeah, it hasn't sink in yet, huh?
Yeah, it
Like, does
hasn't.
it really like? Because you've been working on the book for some time, throughout the pandemic and everything, and
Hmm.
then it came together. The book came together, and now it's out. Not only that it is out, but it's top of the list because I
Yeah,
feel that's how we should aim for, Tanish. Like we should always go for the top in whatever that we can. We always should aim to be the best in any areas that we pursue. So congratulations, Tanish, on your success. Huge, huge success. And if there's one thing I can share with you, Tanish, that this is not the graduation for you. This is not the finishing line. There's gonna be other exciting things, and I can't wait. And myself, and hopefully the audience as well, can't wait for the next thing that's happening with you in the future. Exciting things are coming up for you.
Yeah. Right.
Awesome. So before that, Tanish, the first thing that you got to finish high school first, right?
Yes.
One more year of high school. You got to finish high school first. So, Tanish, I just wanted to say thank you so much for joining me today, for being part of the show, and also for your dedication and your commitment in pursuing your dreams, regardless of your age. You've achieved a lot of the things that people who are double your age, or maybe triple your age, couldn't have achieved it. So, incredible, full acknowledgement to you and your family, and keep on going. And I think more importantly, your heart is in social entrepreneurship, correct?
Correct.
Brilliant. So it's not just the money making part that's driving you, but also how you can uplift your community
Y-
from your entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, Tanish, let's wrap up the interview. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you everybody for watching. The book TeenCoon. This Gen Z term now, right? Everybody, like, I can't. So the book, the TeenCoon Entrepreneurship: Unleashing Gen Z's Entrepreneurial Mindset, is now available on Amazon. So go and grab a copy. Thank you for being here, and remember, be brave and courageous in sharing your voice so that you can be seen, heard, and chosen as the go-to expert in your field. Okay, Tanish, let's say goodbye to everybody.
First of all,
Bye.
that's all I say. Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here, and I'll see you later. Bye.